Hello YouTube and welcome diecast family. Just wanted to show real quick some customs I've been working on, and I don't think any of them are going to stay in the collection that long. I think I'm going to put them on eBay and post them Sunday night for $9.99 at auction and see what they do. But any money I make from it will just go for supplies for real riders and more decals and more paint so I can continue this. But this is probably my favorite one out of the bunch. Really like how it turned out. Really like how the stance turned out. Now, I sanded the bottom so it was flat, and then I used acetone afterwards and cleaned it up, and it almost put like a factory finish back on it, even though I sanded it down and it was looking really white. I didn't put a screw in the front yet. But just really happy with how the clear coat came out on all these. The handful I'm going to show right here, this was already orange from Hot Wheels. I did not paint the orange. I added the decals. I did paint the fender flares black. And then, of course, clear coated over everything. And I just love how this clear coat's going on. Really like how the stance turned out on this. Does roll, even though it is slammed to the ground. So, since I showed the stance of that one, here's another one. I also had to sand down because it had a hump back here. So I could change the stance on this. I love the way the green turned out. This green turned out amazing. I mean, look at that green paint. But for now on, with the Mulatto chrome pen, liquid chrome pen, this has a mirror finish when you do it. But even with this clear coat I've been using, which this Tester's lacquer wet look is really awesome clear coat. But you can see the silver. Now, I had these lines absolutely perfect when I did this. Way better than what I normally would do. And of course, on camera, it really magnifies it. With the naked eye, you really can't see it that bad, but the camera really magnifies it. Like, you can even see the little flaw in the metal of the diecast, which has a lot of flaws in the diecast metal when you strip them down. But I think because I painted it on that ridge, I think when I put the clear coat on, I'm pretty sure it dissolved it a little bit off the ridge and it ran into the paint or ran down the side of it. But there's a little ledge there, a little lip, and I had that paint perfectly on it. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the clear coat that made it bleed. It did it all over on the trim, which is real disappointing because I really took my time on this trim and it really turned out good until the clear coat. And this had a mirrored finish to it after I did it, but you can see the clear coat took away the mirrored finish. So, learned from this one. I'll do the trim after. But I did put a wash over the front grille Really like how the washes turn out. I make my own wash out of a little bit of lacquer and a little bit of black paint, both testers. So if you bid on these, know that they're not perfect. But I think they're pretty well done. Extremely hard doing all the little fine detail and everything on everything. So these are monoblock wheels. They roll pretty good. Monoblock wheels are probably the easiest wheels to use, or one of the easiest, next to like a Hot Wheels Real Rider replacement. I wasn't sure about these wheels on this Urus, but after putting them on it, I really like it. Really like them wheels. Now all these have at least 3 coats of clear coat on them. And doing these here really reminded me about how anal I'm being with mine. There's might be a slight flaw in some of mine with like a decal here or there. Sometimes when you apply decals, I've had the number like almost wipe off and stuff. So it really depends on the quality of the decal and everything else, and there are just so many factors into it. But doing these 6 normal Hot Wheels, there's all kinds of factory flaws. With the decals being off, like this decal, the tail light should come over here. I was trying to figure out why this placement of the sticker looks so much different than this one. And it's because the tail light comes almost all the way around on that side, and on this side it stops way short. So even with your Hot Wheels factory out of the blister, you're going to have all kinds of issues with them. So it really makes me feel better about the little tiny imperfection you might get with mine here or there, because it's probably equal to a Hot Wheels mainline as far as a flaw being pretty minor. But you can see how nice the clear coat turned out on these. It just laid on there so nice. The decals really laid on here nice too. And the clear coat just makes the factory Hot Wheels look so much better. I don't know if you guys agree or not. And I originally wanted to post 10 cars to eBay to try and help me get some funds for making more customs for supplies. But I might end up posting more. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to post at least these 6 here. And then I got 8 other ones. So it's possible there might be 14 of them posted. I'm sorry, just being on the turntable, you can't see the decals. You really have to get it close to the camera to see these decals. Now this was not black, that was blue. So I put a wash in there and then clear coated over it all. And even that blue, I think the blue just looks so much better with a clear coat on it. Just a factory Hot Wheels blue. Now there was a paint flaw here. This one had a couple other paint flaws. One on the passenger side where I put a decal at. But when I put the clear coat on, it actually made it look a lot better. The couple little paint flaws that were in it, the clear coat really helped it look a lot better. Really like this BMW too. I think it turned out really sweet. The wheel choice, just everything about it. The way the decals laid on it, like how it's kind of like a ghosted look. Just love it. It's hard for me to sell any of these. Rather just set them all up in the diecast collection. I keep telling myself when I make customs and sell them that I'm going to make two. One for myself and one to sell. But it's hard. It's hard because of the decals. It's hard because of the wheels. I got to have two of the same set of Real Riders. Like this one. This did have the blue windshield in it that I put in the other Mercedes. But I put the tinted one in here. And I think it looks way better. The metallic paint, you couldn't even really see that with the factory Hot Wheels clear coat on there. But as soon as I started laying the clear coat, just look at that metallic paint. That clear coat brought that metallic out like nuts. Absolutely nuts, the metal flake in this. I like the Liberty Walk and the cursive font. I think looks really cool. Really like how the decals are on this one too. Like some of them you can just barely make out that they're even there. You can see it when the light hits it just right. Because they were white decals, so they should turn up, but like I had to color the vents in because they weren't colored in. And on Instagram, I took a picture of this parking lot with them all in the same position before and after. And I think it turned out pretty cool having a side-by-side comparison. This one actually might be my favorite. I don't know. I really like the way the Z turned out. Just the stands, that orange, the decals. I love it. But this one, this is a Matchbox. Does roll perfect. But I put the monoblock wheels on this, which I think look really good. Pretty fitting for it. But then the decals. Love how they turned out on this. I think they just turned out perfect on this. And even the clear coat on this gray made it look so much better. Like the light reflects off it. It did not look that good from the blister. Yeah, I just really like the overall look of this Volkswagen. I think it looks like it's ready to rip. And I'm really happy with the stance on all these and the real riders. It's one of the reasons I want to auction off some cars is because I need some more real riders. Really struggled to find 6 of them to fit these cars. And then this one is probably the most subtle. It's definitely the most subtle. I don't think the blue windshield looks that bad in it. Of course, it would look better with a black one, but I had to put the black one in this one. I had to. This one just looks too fucking mean, especially with that metallic paint. It just looks amazing. Now, shout out to Nesto P. I got all these decals from Nesto P about 3 years ago. So, it's about time I put them to good use. And it's really hard to duplicate decals on both sides. Because this one and this one, if they come attached like this on this side, on this side it'd be opposite. Now this one I put different ones on each side. Didn't know I keep that consistent, but all the other ones I did. You can't even see, but like these 3 decals here, to keep it the same on that side, I had to cut them all individually. And same with the 2 on the back right here. To keep them in the same orientation, I had to cut them apart. And then, of course, I showed these before, but might as well show them again. It's possible they might be going on eBay. I hate to do it because I would love to keep these 2 in my collection forever. Because I worked really hard on them. I'm really happy with how they turned out. But I'm also a little curious to see what they would go for at auction. I've seen some customs go for $60, $70 at auction, sometimes more. It'd just be crazy knowing if I did one that kept getting bidded up like that and did good like that. And I could duplicate either one of these, I think. I know these decals I can still get. And I can get the wheels too. These decals might be harder to get. And this one be a lot harder to duplicate. Alright, that is Monster back there. I was afraid I might have put something else. But that clear coat on here turned out amazing. Of course, these decals were for a Datsun, so it said Datsun right there. Had to cover it up with a monster sticker. But right above where it says Hot Wheels, it said Datsun. But personally, a Ken block shouldn't go on a Datsun 510 wagon. It should be on a Ford Mustang like this. This color of gray makes it almost impossible to see where the decals start and stop. The headlights, I painted a base coat black, and then I painted a little bit of green, because the monster one has a green LEDs around a white light. So I tried to mimic it. Them stickers there were like the hardest ones to ever place. Well, they're not really stickers. They're water slides. But that little lip there, it was just super hard to get it to stick on there. Really like the way the two-tone turned out. I can't decide which one's my favorite. I love them both. I might not put either of them up for auction. I'm curious to see what they go for, but I like having them in the collection too bad. Then I don't think maybe I did show this one. I think I did because I'm real happy with how the white paint and white top came out on this. With the clear coat, I mean, it's just... that headlight got a little fudged up, but that one looks pretty perfect. If you guys never painted detail on a car like this, this is the size of the brush I use. This is a number 0. And then I even cut it down from that to make it angled. And I just use a tip. So on my finger, you see how big the tip is. Teeny, teeny, tiny. And I can actually, when I have the paint on there, have a little dot right on the tip. That's what you got to use. I can't even see that with the naked eye. Especially white paint, and if you're coming in here and something's white, it just disappears. Of course, the tip looks pretty small compared to that headlight now. But when you're trying to paint it after drinking a couple cups of coffee, it is not easy. Now that one, happy with the wheel choice. One little paint flaw in it, right there. A bug landed in it after I did the clear coat, and I had to wipe the bug off. I just barely picked it off, but it was enough to fuck up the paint. Besides that, this one turned out pretty damn good. Had to put the TH there because I put it back here and you couldn't see it. It disappeared. That red on this purple just disappeared. Like the wheel choice on this one. I think they're pretty fitting for this 510. Front decal was a hair off, a hair high, but that's extremely common with the Hot Wheels out of the blister, so it really bothers me. But we got these Corvettes. This one, I took these blue wheels off. Or no, they were green. They were green wheels, weren't they? Were they blue? They might have been blue. I don't know. I had the blue wheels on here and they did not look good at all. But I put these 4-spoke on here. And man, I really like these. I didn't think I would like the 4 spokes on the Corvette. Corvettes were fun because they got all these ground effects and everything. And every one I did slightly different. Like this one, painted the spoiler black. You kind of see I just did this little side thing and that. This one, I just put a wash in there over that to highlight it. Left everything else the same. This one, I painted the whole thing on the bottom. This one had slight, like it has paint like this Mercedes, like with a lot of metallic in it. And it looks amazing. But for some reason, it did something funny under the decal. It's like the metallic is trying to come through. And then the decal did something funny that the other ones didn't do. But yeah, for some reason, these decals do not lay as good as the other ones that I put on. Like, I don't know what that is. It's under the clear coat. I don't know what would have made the paint or the clear coat do that. Like, it's just weird. And it's hard to notice. With the naked eye, you don't notice. Actually, me just looking at it right here, I cannot see that. I see it on the camera, but I don't see it with my naked eye. I see the metallic. How the paint's metallic, I can see that. But I can't see all them weird lines. Not even when I get close. Same with this side. The decal on the camera, the water slide, you can see. But with the naked eye, you can't really see it. Still liking how it turned out, though. And this one, did the same thing as the yellow one. Kind of like that look. And the purple one I kind of did the same way. Which this purple is that metallic too. Which something with that clear coat of metallic, man. It really brings out the metallic. Like some of them I painted the mirrors, some I didn't. taillights look the worst on this yellow one just because everything else looks awesome on it. Like the taillights on this purple one turned out perfect. Of course, they all roll absolutely perfect. This is a metallic red. You can just see how that clear coat really brings out the metallic. Well, this video is a lot longer than I thought, but wanted to show all these before I put them on eBay. So, not sure which ones are going on eBay. I'd have to say probably most of them. Let me know which one's your favorite. For some reason, I really like that Golf GTI and the BMW. And that Mercedes. I can't believe how the clear coat came out on that. Definitely ended up being a way longer video than I thought. Not expecting it to be this long. I know I said a couple weeks ago I was planning on putting these on there, but I was waiting for the real riders. Finally got the real riders for them. And now just waiting for a chance to make the listings, because it'd be a pain making a listing for eBay. It's just time consuming. People think you just snap a picture, but I wish it was that easy. It takes 10-15 minutes per listing. Really like the way the Urus turned out. This just looks like a Konami. The stance, the decals, everything about it just screams Konami. If you see my Instagram and see the before and after pictures, the after picture, it really looks like a Konami picture, I think, because Konami did that. It had a bunch of cars all with a lowered stance, and but the proper stance makes a huge difference on a diecast. The way the tire sits in there kind of pokes out a little bit. It's kind of what I want with like a drift car or something. You want a little bit of a poke with the tire. Really makes a good stance. This one's just slammed. Slammed. You can't get lower than that. Nothing rubs either. If you push on it, it won't roll because you'll flex the axles and then it will rub. But you could actually put a little bit meatier tires on that rim. You could put real riders on that same rim that are a little bit bigger and would roll a lot better. But I just like the look of it slammed on the ground like that. Oh, have a good day.